Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Tuesday, January 25th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. Before I do get started, though, I want to personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online class that I'll be offering later on in the week. So if you're liking what you see as I go through the video and you want to learn more about this tool and how it can be used, how it should be used, and why it is such a powerful tool to build consistency as a trader, then definitely get signed up for the free class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box. If you're watching at my site, then there's an area right there on the webpage that you can click on. So like I said, if you're liking what you see, then definitely get signed up for this free class. First chart here we're starting off with is SPY. Unless you live under a rock, you know things have been pretty dramatic the past last week and then starting off today. But I mean, crazy day to day. And from a technical point of view, I mean, what a hammer candle. So even if you have very basic, candlestick knowledge, I'm sure you've heard of the hammer candle. And right there we have a hammer that has formed. And this will mean a bit more to those of you that watched the video from last week, but talked about these areas of support. And to just show you how crazy of a day it was, at first, both these levels were broken and quite frankly shattered because the price broke through that second one and still came all the way down here. However, the day was not over. And now by the time the market has essentially closed, there has been a huge bounce in the upwards direction. So does that mean that everything's fine? Does that mean that this thing's gonna, be heading back up to 480? I'm not saying that, but what I am saying is that it now becomes very logical. It becomes very plausible to say, okay, there could be some sort of additional bounce coming here over the next couple of days. Now, whether or not it's a dead cat bounce or a true reversal, your guess is as good as mine. However, after the big recovery today, it's worth at least starting to give the bulls a little bit more credit, but you don't want to give them too much credit because, like I said, this could totally still just be a dead cat bounce. But overall, big hammer candle here on the SPY. Next one here, QQQ. So now we're looking at more of the NASDAQ stocks. So if you're a beginner, the QQQ is just an ETF, exchange traded fund that allows you to capture all the NASDAQ stocks. But I'm not going to spend a lot of time here because it's the same exact talking points that I just had there on SPY. Things were getting really bad. Price was all the way down here. However, the market was not over, still had time, and you can see a huge bounce. So once again, we have ourselves a hammer candle. And what I'm very curious about is if the price does start to bounce, how is it going to behave around that pink line right there, which on my chart denotes the very famous, the very well-known 200-day simple moving average, currently valid at, let's just call it 365.50. So if this does continue to bounce, like I said, I'm not calling it a reversal. Maybe it's a dead cat bounce, but a very, very interesting level from a technical point of view in terms of, gauging how the price reacts is going to be up around that 200-day simple moving average. Right now, valid at 365.50, but no doubt about it, very impressive bounce. Let's see if this, if this bullishness can continue forward and build more of a bounce over the next few days. Now, a couple quick clarification points. I've changed time frames, meaning those first two charts we looked at were the daily time frame, but now I'm looking at the 30-minute time frame. So for you beginners out there, all that means is each one of these candlesticks represents now 30 minutes worth of time instead of an entire day. And then also the market is still open for just a little bit of time. So you're not crazy. That final candlestick there on some of these charts is still going to be moving around. But I like to do these videos when the market's still open because sometimes we can capture some good action live here. So just keep that in mind. But right now we have AMC as the next stock. And to give credit where credit's due, impressive bounce. I mean, I think that at one point it was all the way down here. However, now it's bounced up to that area. However, there is still a big but. And for those of you that have been, no pun intended there, but for those of you that have been watching past videos, you know what I'm going to talk about next. So yes, the price has bounced. Yes, there's been some signs of bullishness. However, I want to get too excited because the price is still down below that very annoying, that very stubborn purple line there, which on my chart is that 50-period moving average. You can see there's quite a track record of this area acting as resistance. So while I'm not saying that that level can't be broken, all I'm saying is I want to get too excited until the price can at least show the sign of strength of not only being able to bounce, but also get up to that level, because that's what's happened here. There's been several bounces. I mean, from here up to there was a bounce. From there up to there was a bounce. But because that purple line, each of those bounces has been rejected. So while that doesn't guarantee that it's going to do it again, my point here is you just need to be a little bit skeptical of the bounce and see if the price can actually be able to get above that 50-period moving average and stay above it. Next one, TSLA, Tesla. And what a very powerful final 30 minutes as we're witnessing here. So that's why I like to do these when the market's still open for a little bit of time, because you can see this green candle just keeps getting bigger and bigger, which now brings about a very interesting level to keep an eye on going into next, I was going to say next week, but no, the week just started, but going into the next few days. And that is this area of resistance up here, which would be the gap close location up around $940. Now, do gaps have to close? No. So that does not mean that this thing is for sure going to go up to 940. But given the powerful last 30 minutes, it's certainly within striking distance. It does seem plausible to me that the price has a good chance of getting up to $940. So that'll be that initial area of resistance. And the next key level after that, like AMC, will be that 50-period moving average, which you can see, again, like AMC, has presented some problems. But you don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. Let's just first see if the price can get up there and close that gap. And then after it closes the gap, can it push beyond and get up through that level? So keep a very close eye on that. As far as areas of support are concerned, if there are any sort of pullbacks, then I think a level that a lot of people will be watching right down there around that 875 mark. But yeah, as of now, no doubt about it, very powerful bounce, very powerful final 30 minutes. Not just a question of, can it get up to 940? And if it does, we'll be able to push through. Let's see what happens. Next one here, SOFI, done this one in the past. So the first update that needs to be done here is just based on a foundational rule in charting, which states when levels of support are broken and closed below, they tend to act as resistance. So for those of you that have watched past videos, talked about 1350 being that main area of support, but with the gap down today, that's going to now be that main area of resistance. So like Tesla, nice bounce here going, but you want to be a little skeptical because yes, it's bounced, but has it really broken through any significant levels? It hasn't, because it hasn't broken above 1350. It hasn't broken above the moving averages there, the 200 period, the 50 period. So once again, to reiterate, that doesn't mean that it can't do it. I'm just saying that it hasn't done it yet. So therefore, that's where the skeptical nature is coming from, because you don't want to get caught in something where like, oh yeah, this is totally it, and then it just happens to be a dead cat bounce that rolls back over. So keep an eye on those areas of resistance if this continues on up. As far as levels of support are concerned, main level to watch if there's any sort of pullback is going to be right down there around $12.50. But yeah, no doubt about it, good bounce here. Not nearly as strong of the last 30 minutes like Tesla's experiencing, but still a good bounce. So we'll see if it can continue to push up over the next couple of days. Now you're going to notice a trend here because of the general nature of the market, and that's why I wanted to start off by starting off with the nature. Big move down, and then that hammer candle on those daily time frames has occurred, meaning that for the most part across the markets, you're going to have a lot of stocks that are bouncing. And once again, PLTR, another one, but also like SOFI, and same exact levels. When that levels of support are broken, they tend to act as resistance. So $13.50, again, like SOFI, is going to be that main level. So let's give credit where credit's due. Good bounce, but has it actually broken through any significant levels? It has not. It's still down below 1350. It's still down below that 50-period moving average. So can it, break through those levels? Absolutely, it can. So, but it hasn't yet. So that's why you want to still be skeptical. And then as far as the key level of support is concerned here, key level to watch right down there around $12.60. So yeah, nice bounce here on PLTR. Is this the start of a bigger turnaround? Let's see. Next one, NIO, and this one's it's bouncing, but I'm a lot more skeptical on it because as you've seen, those other bounces, of all the charts we've been looking at have been pretty strong. It's not that this one's not strong, but it isn't really anywhere close to, where it started off the day up here. And it's certainly not anywhere close to potentially closing that gap right there. So does that mean that this is a fake bounce? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying if I was forced to choose one of, okay, Clay, of all the charts you looked at, which one do you think has a highest likelihood of rolling back over? My guess would be this one. But again, that's just an educated guess based on seeing this pattern compared to the other ones. So while it is bouncing and maybe this thing is going to just skyrocket up there and close the gap, of course that's possible. It just doesn't seem nearly as strong as these other ones that we've been talking about. So if the price does continue on up, first key level to watch, actually what I'm very curious about is in the near term here, can it even really get up above this $25 mark? That seems to be a very stubborn level in the very near term. But then after 25, next key level to watch after that would be right up there around, that makes it easy, 26. So 25, 26, main levels of resistance. And then as far as areas of support are concerned, main level to watch in that regard down there around $23.50. So yeah, NIO, a lot of people watch it. That's why I'm doing it, because it is a very popular stock, but it just doesn't seem as strong as some of those other ones we've looked at. Next one, PIXY. So for those of you that enjoy playing these stocks down below $5, I like this one for one reason, that one reason alone, the ability to do this right here, to draw that trend line. And let me be very clear, I'm not trying to imply that I have some sort of special skill to do that. I'm not implying that's a great discovery. In fact, the exact opposite. I assure you, people around the world have drawn that trend line, and that is very important. because while it doesn't guarantee anything, it does make it plausible to think that if the price can get up there and break up through it, that because so many people are watching it, and you can call it a self-fulfilling prophecy if you want, but that break could very well create quite a bit of upwards buying pressure. So again, guaranteed to happen? Of course not. Is that valid? Yeah, for sure. So keep an eye on right around, let's call it the $1.77, $1.78 mark as a potential breakout point. If you do like to play more so the pullbacks, the very interesting level here is that purple line, the 50 period. You can see that twice now the prices bounce off of it. So if there are any sort of pullbacks, that would be an interesting area to keep an eye on. But for the breakout players, yeah, keep an eye on that trend line, and let's see if the price can get the push up through it. Next one here. No, I lied. Nothing like everything, keyboard, everything falling apart. So anyways, so next one here, GMVD. And this will mean a bit more to those that watched past videos, but let me do this real quick. Let me just extend this trend line out because we have a classic example of supports turning to resistance, but that level was a support. So as I've said with past charts, you would want to convert that to resistance, and look right where it got rejected today. And you just can't make that stuff up. Now, if you don't believe me, I'm not offended. I could be a stranger, but just go back to last week and you'll see, I talked about GMVD. I put that trend line on play, and then look at how when the price tried to recover back upwards, that's right where it got rejected from twice. So pointer being right up around 575 is going to be that main breakout point to watch moving forward. And the other dynamic that's just interesting is the fact that this came back to life today. It seems to have, kind of just lost its way. People stopped caring about it. But then today, volume did return. Sure, it got low again here, but it becomes a very valid question of, okay, is this just kind of a little temporary pause before this thing gives it another go? So it's at least worth keeping an eye on. Once again, especially if you like this price range down below, the $10 mark. As far as areas of support are concerned, a very important one I would say is right here at $4.50. So keep a close eye on that. But all in all, nice move up, consolidating, and in fact, if you wanted to, you could just, draw something like that, a nice little bull pennant pattern. So if you like bull pennants, if you like well-defined breakout levels in this price range, then here you go. Next one, ARDS, and love this one going back to the whole self-fulfilling prophecy talking point that we've had. But I assure you, lots of people have drawn that line right there at $2.15, and that a lot of people are going to be watching that pink line there, the 200 period moving average. So if I just change this all to one color to make it easier to see. So we have our resistance, we have our support, we have the big momentum move right there. This would be just a classic bull flag pattern. So if you like bull flag patterns, if you like this price range, then this is one that I would definitely get on it because, from all attributes, from the volume standpoint, during the consolidation, you can see volume has dropped. So even from a volume analysis standpoint, the price and volume is behaving like you would want to see. So like I said, if you like the bull flags, if you like this price range, then this is definitely one that I would say get on your watch list, specifically keeping an eye on that $2.15 mark. So that wraps up the top 10. Again, if you like what you saw here, if you want to learn more about this tool, how it can be used, how it should be used to build consistency as a trader, then get signed up for the class. Like I said, it'll be later this week, Thursday, January 27th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And then as far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy this format, if you want me to continue to put these videos together, then help me out with some basic communication. Hit the like button, leave a simple comment below. Let me know what you traded today. Let me know what you're watching tomorrow. Say hi. Give me a smiley face emoji, but hitting the like button, leaving a simple comment, communicate to me that you enjoy the videos. And as long as I know people are continuing to enjoy, then I will continue to make them. And again, if you want to learn more about charts and how to use them as a tool to build consistency as a trader, then definitely get signed up for the free class. Everybody take care. Have a good one.